Hi there, this is Ilise Benun, your marketing mentor. And this is the podcast for you if and only if you are ready to leave the feast or famine syndrome behind, and I mean for good. Help, my marketing isn't working. If you're a creative freelancer and you need more and or better clients, and you're doing your marketing, but it just takes too much time, longer than you want it to, or longer than it should take, whatever that means. But the bottom line is that it feels like nothing is working. Then this episode is for you. So listen and learn. So we recently conducted a survey to find out how y'all are feeling about your business as we wrap up 2024 with an election looming as we speak and AI on the rise. And here's what we learned. 19% of you are not doing consistent marketing. Okay, that's not surprising. 66% of you say you overthink everything, and I do think those two things are probably connected. A full 77% of you feel like you're lagging behind. Behind what? I have to wonder. And a jaw-dropping 75% say you're either stuck or stressed. So if you, listener, feel that way, know that you are not alone. But here's what struck me the most. Half of you say that what you really want, what would be most helpful, is a step-by-step action plan. That's exactly what I offer, but for some reason, it's not enough. So here's what I think. You may think you want a step-by-step plan, but if that's what you wanted, you could easily go to Google and just get a plan. There are lots of plans out there, and a lot of them are very good. But I think what you really want is for someone to give you the easy way to find clients, or maybe you even want someone to do it for you. But the truth is, from my experience, there is no easy way. Sometimes when we start out our business, it starts easy and you get spoiled by that. I have a lot of clients who launch their business with a bang, and sometimes it's because they got freelance work from their former employer. But at some point, it's not going to be easy. It's up and down. It's feast or famine. There are lots of vicissitudes, one of my favorite words. And that's when you need a plan. But having a plan doesn't seem to be the answer. Why is that? This is something I think a lot about, and I do have a hypothesis. You see, when we asked in our survey what gets in the way, so many of you said, it's me. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I'm channeling Taylor Swift here. So let's think this through and apply common sense. You say you want a step-by-step action plan, but you also say it's you who is getting in your own way, whether it's your fear or your lack of confidence or your imposter syndrome or your procrastination. The list goes on, but it's always something, and sometimes it's a few things. So if that's the case, it follows logically that having a step-by-step action plan isn't really the answer. Elementary, my dear Watson. A plan won't remove the obstacle of you. That's my theory. But first, let's go back and tackle this idea from the beginning that your marketing isn't working. Because here's my question. How do you know? And what does it mean, or what does it look like when it is working? Picture a garden. Maybe it's your garden. When the seeds are doing their thing under the soil, can you tell if it's working? Can you see that it's working? Or do you just see dirt? And you have to trust that it's working. And when you finally start to see those little shoots coming up out of the soil, does that mean it's finished? Or is the process of growth slow and sometimes barely visible? And it takes longer than we want it to, right? Well, it's the same with marketing. That garden metaphor is used all the time for marketing for good reason. So why do you feel like what you're doing isn't working? Well, it could be any number of reasons. First, there's a mindset problem. Because you see, we're all bombarded by people and companies selling us solutions that are supposed to be quick and easy. I really try not to do that because I know the reality. And that selling you something quick and easy brings you to your marketing with totally unrealistic expectations of what's actually possible. And I am forever fighting against this and trying to show what is possible when you do your marketing right. So first we have to solve that mindset expectation problem. Next, when it comes to tactics, it may feel like it's not working because, well, usually it's because you're not doing enough. You're doing some, and it feels like a lot, but it's actually not enough. Or maybe you're only doing one thing, like social media, and hoping it's enough, but it usually isn't. Or you're doing what you like to do, what you're comfortable doing, what you enjoy doing, but maybe it's not reaching your people, the right people. Or maybe you're actually doing a lot, but it's a lot of random things and they're totally disconnected. Or you do one thing for a bit and then you hop over to another and you drop that and you try something else, never giving any one tactic enough time to actually get the results you so desperately want. Plus, if you're doing random marketing, the tools don't work together to reinforce each other or to reinforce your message to your people, which is what it takes for marketing to work. That's when you're doing marketing right. So what does it look like when marketing is working? Well, first of all, when it is working, you're often the last to hear about it, unfortunately, because it's happening in the dirt. And it's not until a flower blooms that you actually see it, right? Because here's the thing, it takes time for people to trust you, and you can't see that happening even when it is. And it takes time for people to arrive at their moment of need, and you don't usually have any visibility into that journey. And it takes time for all of their puzzle pieces to fall into place before they're ready to reach out and let you know that they have a project. That's when you hear that it's working. And that's why you have to trust that it is working, even though you can't see it or you don't hear about it, just like in the garden. So again, when it's working, what will you see? Well, there is one obvious sign and several non-obvious signs. You'll know it's working when your ideal client wants to talk about a possible project. That's a no-brainer. But there are many more non-obvious signs, which sometimes feel like magic or like it's coming out of the blue, but it's not if you're doing your marketing. So for example, your ideal client lets you know they're interested, but they have no need right now, and they will keep you in mind. And that's your cue to stay in touch with your content marketing. And sometimes that is actually the case, even if they don't tell you. So you feel ghosted, but actually you're not. Or during the 4-step outreach campaign, your ideal client didn't respond at all, so you thought you were ghosted. But because you followed my instructions and you stayed in touch with your email newsletter, that's content marketing, they eventually do respond, sometimes weeks or months, sometimes even years later. That happens to me all the time. But they do eventually respond with, "I'm ready, let's talk." But this only happens if you follow up and stay in touch. If not, you've essentially wasted every ounce of effort you've invested in that prospect. And sometimes during the 4-step outreach campaign, your ideal client responds with, "No, thank you, we're all set." And that is actually good because you can take them off your list and focus on prospects who may actually need you. And you may feel rejected when they say this, but to me, this is a sign that your marketing is working. You heard me right. Getting rejected can actually mean that your marketing is working. Here's how I see it. A response of no is still a response. And it's not a rejection because it means your message was worth their time to respond to. On episode 511, I told a story about a client who sent out 13 messages and got 2 no thanks messages back. And that was a win from my point of view. 2 out of 13 is a very high response rate. That's 15%. But what I think is happening is this. A lot of you just aren't finishing your marketing. And that's what leads to the feeling that you're wasting your time and nothing is working. You're not following all the way through. You're only doing it halfway, if that. So many people don't get past that first outreach before they give up. But in reality, it takes several efforts to just get someone's attention in the first place, and then to build their trust, and then to be there in their moment of need, which we can't control or predict. That's why we do the 4-step outreach campaign, and then we stay in touch with content marketing. That is the foundation of the simplest marketing plan. So the real question is this: how do you get yourself to follow through? How do you get yourself to not give up on yourself and your marketing, especially when it doesn't feel like it's working yet? That word yet is important. If you're the obstacle, what or who will remove that obstacle when you can't? It's me. Hi, I'm the solution. It's me. No, seriously, I think I can. And I've been doing it for years. That's what the simplest marketing plan is all about, because even though it's not easy, it really can be simple. So if I can help, please reach out to me. And especially if you want my help finding actual clients using AI. That's my newest thing. So check out my new one-on-one AI client finding coaching calls, or you can just sign up for my quick tips at marketing-mentor.com. Once you're on the site, you'll find lots more resources, including the simplest marketing plan. So enjoy, and I'll see you next time.